seen this one before. This is the poster of the resistance. Now, we don't know if this is just an artistic interpretation or if this is part of their plan.
We're asking you if you are worried about the damage that could be caused by G20 protesters.
Bank machines were spray painted in red. It all happened in the downtown core in and around the city's Chinatown. Again, signs urging people to resist the G20 was sprayed on the wall. One police vehicle was also vandalized. As for the bank themselves, TD, Scotiabank, RBC, and CIBC branches were all hit. Of course, earlier this month, an RBC branch was firebombed in Ottawa, and protesters there warned that there would be more incidents as the G8 in Huntsville, Ontario, and the G20 in Toronto approach.
They have no idea who the group is that took responsibility for it. You can see actually the guy walking calmly out of the bank as it's blowing up. You can watch the clip on YouTube. It's about 8 seconds long. And, you know, this is a few days before they announced the enormous cost of the G20.
News today that the federal government has informed local business people in Toronto that the cost of property damage and vandalism would not be covered, and that would have to be paid for by private owners themselves.
Last time, Michael, you mentioned the first incident of the firebombing of the bank in Ottawa. That was posted online, gave police a very clear idea who is responsible. What about this case?
Well, in this case, police have one suspect under arrest.
Police have the one guy so far. It's a criminal code offense. And upon conviction, of course, huge implications for that young person. It's also interfering with the small businesses in the area. Councillor Adam Vaughan spoke to us about that. And spoke earlier with Adam Vaughan, local councillor. Here's what he had to say.
They got $1 billion to protect Stephen Harper's photo op. They got nothing for small businesses. They're going to get hurt like this. And that has got to change. And if you're listening, Mr. Harper, you have got to step up to the plate. This is your party. It's your responsibility. And not one small business, not one resident in my ward who's a Canadian taxpayer should watch you spend $1 billion protecting yourself while they're left hanging dry. That's absolutely wrong, and something's got to change on that.
And these are the kind of tactics that they've seen overseas, but not in Canada. We're open for a peaceful protest.
We're not going to be talking about tactics today.
You never know when it can break out into a horses trampling. Got military.
The security unit comprised of the RCMP, the OPP, Toronto Police, the Canadian Forces, and other GTA police services. But officers from across the country will be coming here by the thousands to participate in this security effort. So this is an important news conference this morning where we will get our first clear picture on what life will be like in Toronto that weekend.
We've made a determination of what security we need to put in place, and we put that security in place. And that security comes with a cost.
Spend that much money, more than the Olympics. It's the most costly Canadian experience ever. You know what I mean? And it's just for 20 leaders to discuss how they're going to control us. So we have to, as people, protect our freedoms.
You know, a lot of people asking the question, how will Toronto benefit from this and the people, the citizens of this fair city?
Well, that is a fair question, and when you think of the security being approaching $1 billion, what will the payback be for, say, for example, Huntsville and Toronto hosting these two summits?
This is the kind of stuff we're seeing. We're trying to seek the truth, trying to get the word out. Just standing here on the street, words on the G20, $1 billion being spent. Well, what are they going to spend it on next?